I'm Kevin Naderi, and I'm the owner and chef of Roost Restaurant. And there's a new rooster in town. My name is Kevin Naderi. I own Roost Restaurant over on Fairview and Hazard here in Houston, Texas. Come on, Bart. You doing all right, man?
All right, cool. Got you a delivery of smoked skamorza.
Awesome. Yeah. Smoked mozzarella.
Enjoyed it.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. We are a farm-to-table neighborhood restaurant trying to pay homage to the people that support us and do the local farming and everything within, say, about a 150-mile radius. So. Yo, slow dough bread. What's going on, guys? What do we got?
Samples from the new menu.
Oh, awesome. Cheese and black pepper?
Cheesy.
Nice and cheesy. Let me try it out. Slice them up. I appreciate it, guys.
Hey, have a good one.
Nice seeing y'all.
All right.
Take it easy. Very diverse on the menu. We don't stick to one ethnicity, one style of cooking. We have about 18 menu items, and they change, I'd say, every 2 to 3 weeks. So about 5 entrees, 3 desserts, and 9 to 10 apps. You're getting to taste a bunch of different farmers in one house and see what they all have to offer. All right, the salad we're going to be making today is on the menu here at Roost. Literally everything on this plate is local. We got hot house tomatoes from Spring, Texas, from Atkinson Farms. We got a burrata cheese from Dallas, from the Houston Dairy Maids, which is a mozzarella on the outside, fresh pulled with ricotta on the inside, and it's packed in cream. So you get a little bit of that sweet, the tart, creaminess, everything that cheese should be locally made. The baby greens over here from Animal Farms over in Cat Springs, Texas, about an hour out. And the origins behind the salad are kind of a lot of traditional Italian style flavors that we just kick up a little bit with some red chili, a lot of garlic, some fresh basil, Texas olive oil. So all this stuff is very traditional flavor, but you do get certain notes of the red wine vinegar and the chili that's not very common with the tomato salad. So what we're going to do is take our tomato, core out the bottom of this guy right here, and take off a little bit of the tip just so it stands up. So what we do is we like to cut it on an angle right here. Fresh salt, pepper. This is all fresh sea salt and fresh crack. You get definitely a lot more flavor out of fresh stuff. So we take our blender. We're going to start off making a little bit of our vinaigrette. So a lot of basil. A little bit of our, olive oil. Just to get it going. You don't want to put too much right now. Put our chili flakes straight in, our garlic straight in, and a little bit of sugar just to balance it out. So remember, you always want to go little, you can always add. If you put too much, it's too late. Put her straight into our blender here. Looks like you use a little bit more olive oil, so let's do that. Then we'll add more as we go. Start off on a little bit of low, pulsate it. Then as we pulse, we're just going to go and leave it on high. I can slowly add more oil. You just want to get it going. I like to leave it a little bit chunky. And the reason I don't put the vinegar in right now is because it would bruise the basil pretty badly. So we go ahead with all of our olive oil. Shut this guy off. We're going to go into our bowl with the red wine vinegar. And straight in with the vinaigrette. You want to kind of drizzle it in slowly. So you're going to get a lot of the brightness, the green in there. So we're going to let that rest for a second, let it meld up the flavors. We're going to put our tomatoes on the plate. We're going to take a little bit of our burrata, and it's perfectly fine if it's on the same cutting board because we do want to season the cheese again anyways. So you got to be very gentle. As you can see, there's the mozzarella and the ricotta on the inside. And then go ahead and place it all around. The thing with burrata is depending on how well made or artisan made it is, it's going to be different. Sometimes it's going to be more firm in the center, sometimes a little more runny. The good thing with this one is because it is well made, it's going to be very runny in the middle, and it's packed in cream, so it's always going to come a little bit softer than usual. So what I like to do is put a little bit of dressing for the greens, and then we can always drizzle a little bit more on later. One piece of burrata and one tomato makes a huge salad like that, and it goes a long way. It's always good for family style service, personal service, whatever you want to do. We want to finish it off with a little bit of black pepper and a little bit more salt. Season everything before, after, during. It's always going to change flavors. You always want to make sure it stays consistent, stays flavorful, stays fresh. So here's the spring tomato salad here at Roost Restaurant. It's hot house tomatoes, baby burrata, and arugula greens, basil vinaigrette. Well, the font and the feel of our menu kind of comes from that old school aspect, to where I'm not going into a modern space. I'm not going to try to be modern. I'm not going to try to change the place to a sense that we are what we're not. It boils down to, it's a creative field. There's always new stuff emerging, and what's funny is we're not catalysts trying to reinvent the wheel, but at the same time we're doing food that we feel plays the part of emerging kind of thing of food or farm to table. It came down to me opening the restaurant because I opened St. Genevieve, which is a lounge over on Kirby inside of West Ave. Once we opened that place, I kind of said, you know what? I think this went so smooth, maybe I can try opening my own. And what's funny is Roost kind of popped out of nowhere. I was going to open a taco truck, and I'm not here for the fame and stuff like that. You know, I'm just here to pay my bills and do what I like. All right, over here we got on our menu right now, we have a Gulf head-on shrimp with curry lentils, a grape raita, which is like an Indian yogurt sauce, and baby greens on top. These are our Gulf shrimp right here. These are from Gulf Wild down in South Texas. Beautiful UH shrimps. We use about 4 per order depending on size, so you get a good amount. And we leave the heads on because it imparts a lot of flavor. All the juices, all the great membraney, oozy goozy stuff is all in that head, so we love it. So we keep that on. That way that they don't dry out. You always want to very lightly sear your shrimp. You don't want to go too heavy on it. Once they turn pink and curl up, you're ready to go. The good part with these guys is they're not going to curl up too much. That head keeps it heavy on one end, so they stay kind of flat. So what we're going to do is just season them, salt and pepper. All right, now when you're cooking, as with most things that you're searing or roasting or anything like that, you want to go into a screaming hot pan. At the restaurant over here, we use cast iron for everything. This is a 10-inch cast iron pan from France. Jam up the heat on this guy. You see it smoking. It looks nice, ready to go. Go just a little bit of cooking oil. We use cottonseed oil. That way it doesn't interfere with flavors. Olive oil is always going to burn a little bit faster than other oils. I know a lot of people like using it. Not for us. We like cottonseed. So once that pan's nice and hot, even distribution, we're going to go straight in with these shrimp. And all these whiskers on the shrimp are exactly what we want too, because that leaves a really nice plate presentation. Go straight in, that pan right there. And go with a little bit of more oil just to reassure the top gets a little bit too. We're going to sear these guys off for a second. There's no problem with covering the pan. Do that just for a little, maybe a minute or two, just to make sure that the heat is staying in that pan. It's almost kind of like convention roasting in there, so it cooks a little bit faster. We can go back to our plate over here. This is such a quick dish. We're just going to throw our plate in the oven for a second just to warm it up. You always want to serve on hot plates. That way your food doesn't chill out too quick. Over here we have some green French lentils. We have ginger in the pan, garlic, baby cut carrots, a little bit of green onion, and some Madras curry powder, and a little bit of garam masala. Garam masala is like cinnamon, clove, turmeric, a little bit of everything in there. We lightly season it. A lot of people think curry is going to be spicy, it's going to be hot, it's going to be very strong. The seasonings in here are actually very subtle. So what we've done is we've cooked it down a little bit of water, vegetable stock, and then we're just going to reconstitute it with a little bit of water, which is already in there. That's kind of the consistency that you want. You want it to be a little bit runny. You don't want it to be too firm on the plate. You don't want it slodgy, kind of like porridge or anything like that. So we're gonna let that warm very, very low. Take our shrimp, they're gonna be ready to turn already. We got a great sear on there. As you can already see, all that orange, brown on one side, that's exactly what you want. So after I flipped it, this is only gonna take like 30 seconds more. So what I do is come in with a little bit of butter. This is just regular unsalted cubed butter. That way you can kind of deglaze the pan and at the same time get a little bit more brown on there. So since this pan is so hot, I want to go onto my lid so that way the shrimp stop cooking. Those are going to be perfectly cooked right there. You don't want to mess with them anymore. You're going to see it's got a little bit of translucency in the middle. That's fine. It's going to carry over cook. There's no problem with that. That's how you want them. So I'm going to take my pan out of the oven, or my plate, sorry. All right. It's going to be hot. Take my lentils. Just want to put a nice little bed for the shrimp to rest on. Definitely don't want to go too much. And then put my shrimp right here. This right here is our raita. I'm going to put the raita first because if I put the raita on top of the shrimp, they're going to chill too fast and they're going to get cold. So the raita that we use is at room temperature. You want it to be a little bit runny and a little bit firm. As you can see, there's going to be little pieces. Let me see if I can get one in there. A little grape in there. So what we do is we roast the grapes in a high heat oven, slice them in half. There's a little bit of cilantro, mint, lime juice, and kefir yogurt, which is a Lebanese thick yogurt. So just going to put a couple little dots where our shrimp are going to go. Then we go just down the middle. Take my shrimp. Some of that juice is always okay too. So after we've got our greens right here, this is red ribbon sorrel, a little bit of frisee, some micro mosh, really nice stuff. These are all from Animal Farms out in Cat Springs, Texas. We've actually done dinners for her out there. Her name is Geeta Van Warden, great lady. And just like anything else, I'm going to season it. That's a little bit of sherry vinaigrette. It's an equal parts sherry vinegar and olive oil. Just a little bit of salt and pepper. So we're going to toss our greens lightly, and then just go straight across the top. That way you get a little bit of tartness. It's not all one note, the whole dish. And then in my shaker right here, I have a little bit of Berber spice. Berber spice is a North African, like smoked paprika, crushed chilies, garlic powder, a little bit of everything in there. So we're just gonna go straight on top for a little bit of heat, a little bit of color, and a little bit of depth. You want like a little bit of smokiness to the dish, a little bit of everything in there. You can definitely smell it, yeah. So wipe that guy up. Then right there is gonna be Roost Gulf shrimp, curry lentils, grape raita, and baby greens. When I was thinking of the restaurant name, I was actually just going through the dictionary and looking at like names and seeing what their meaning was. And Roost is like a comfortable nest or a place to lay your head. And it really boded well with what we were doing because I came from Haven. Haven is almost the same meaning. You know, Haven is a comfortable place for people to meet and hang out and stuff like that. So it worked out very well. Roost just kind of clicked. You know, once I kept saying it over and over, I was like, that's awesome. I'll run with that. So.